Hello and welcome to another episode. I'm Ashley, the creator of Your Light in Darkness, and it is such a pleasure, such an honor, such a blessing to be with you again today, wherever you are listening to me from. I'd love if you would leave a comment and tell me where in the world you are listening from. It is an absolute honor to come before you and to serve you in this manner as things continue to rapidly change and evolve. And my intention is to do my part to help you through this process. So, today we're going to start talking about some new things. If you've been listening to my channel over the past several months, you know I've been focusing on healing, emotional healing, those inner wounds that we all have and have picked up from different situations and circumstances in our lives. And so now I'm pivoting so that you will understand why this healing is so important. It's because as you begin to create what you desire in life, healing or areas that are unhealed become even more louder and more apparent. And so you need to heal so that you can clearly see and know what it is you desire. So, there's one thing that we're about to talk about will begin to shift your life. So, a couple nights ago, it was Halloween here in the United States. And as we were out, my family and I looked around and saw how joyful and just expressive and creative the children were. There were so many children, and they all were dressed up in their costumes and looked cute. And it was bitterly cold. It was like a drastic shift that had happened to the weather in the state I'm located in. Cold, and it was like this light, misty rain. But hey, whatever. The kids had a good time. But as I was observing the children and then observing the decorations that people had decorated within their yards and their porches and their homes, and observing the adults that were passing out candy and very excited and stuff, I looked around and it was wonderful. But I thought to myself, wow, this is the one day that the world is given permission to use their imagination, the creativity that is within the right brain of the mind, tapping into that play and that imagination. And it's okay, it's acceptable this day, but the next day you got to wrap it up, take up everything, and it's business as usual. But the thing is, that is just so far from the truth. See, we have been taught that what we see is what is it. But what if I told you that what we see is what we have created? When we're growing up, in the beginning of our lives, we're encouraged to play and use our imagination and explore and all this stuff. But I think it's somewhere around first grade, second grade, depending on how old you are in the first or second grade, around the age 7 or 8, things they start to take a serious turn, and everyone starts to be trained for life to assimilate and function in the same manner. Socialization. In the homeschool world, socialization is one of those hot key terms because that's the big thing everyone is concerned about that is not down with the homeschooling, unschooling, deschooling ways. How are your kids going to socialize? How do you, in my experience, and I've only been homeschooling for a few years now, but it has been enough for me to see that these children have not had the imagination aspect sucked and stifled out of them. They haven't had the creativity be boxed up and thrown to the side because they're expected to do all these other things. And I say that to say that society's impact on imagination has affected all of us, because you truly can create whatever you desire, live however you desire, no matter where you're at right now, once you understand how potent, powerful, and important the imagination is. So I'm going to pause. New things that you might not have heard before, but let's take a deep breath and then I'll move forward. So just breathe in and hold it for about 4 seconds. Now I want you to breathe out for 4 seconds and hold again for 4 seconds. All right, we're going to do it again. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. One more time, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold. All right. Now, whatever you were experiencing before the breaths, you should be at a calmer state. That technique that I just took you through is a way to get into a quick meditative state. It is the 4-4-4. You're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4. And you can add an extra 4 at the end to hold for 4. And then just do that about 3 times, and you will be taken into an instant meditative state, which is also known as a theta state. When we're in between sleep and waking up, like that period where we've just woken up, that is a theta state. It's a hypnotic state. And it is a state in which you can begin to reprogram your subconscious, your thinking, and start to speak, visualize, affirm, and see what you desire. So, as I was saying, we're taught, oh, that's not real, this isn't true, this isn't accurate. But each of us has a strong imagining faculty inside of us. In fact, you are creating each and every day. You are creating your reality. The thing is, we're not taught this. And so if you don't know and you're not consciously aware of it, you will go around speaking things that actually don't add to your life. They actually diminish or keep you stuck or keep you in a rut or keep you going round and around in the same experience. They attract things to you on their energetic level. So if you are a person that constantly talks about the ills of the world or in your life, or someone that constantly speaks of nothing working for you or not having what you desire, or things always going wrong, and you're talking about all of the lower frequency things that they put on the news to keep everyone that tunes into that, stuck in a perpetual state of fear, dread, and dismay, so that that is what you are creating from, and you're adding into the collective feeling of hopelessness, dread, angst, anger, no way out, all of that stuff. So that, sadly enough, is natural, what has become natural for most people, because most people are not aware that there is this power that we all innately have to create our own reality, but we're not taught it. It's something that it was a choice not to teach us this. But if you go back to the early 1900s, you will see, late 1800s, and even before, you will see that their text, what was spoken about and written about, there were these big movements of new thought leaders talking about how powerful the imagination was. And currently, in our state, as we are now, there are more rising up for this new wave of people to teach you, such as myself, about how you create your own reality. And your imagination has a big part to do with it. But the thing is, if you are imagining everything going wrong, then that is what you are attracting or radiating out in your energy field and bringing it back in. It's like you're putting out a signal to the universe of, this is what I want. When you focus on that, and what we have the power to do is to flip that. Now, in the beginning, it is challenging because you're hearing, it's all about my thoughts. If I simply switch my thoughts and words, these things will come to me, in a sense. But there are also action steps that we have to take in this physical realm. But the action is inspired action. It's a bit different from how we're taught in school. And so, what is important to begin with and know is that your perspective is everything. How you see life, how you see situations, how you see circumstances, how you see yourself is everything. And when you change how you see yourself, the words you speak about yourself, the beliefs you have about yourself and your life, everything around you begins to shift and change. Now, some things happen very instantaneously, and some things take time. It's just how it works here. But you have to shift your perspective and how you see things, how you perceive things, in order to begin this shift. Let me take a sip of water. So, whatever it is that you're currently going through or experiencing that you don't like, that's hard, that's uncomfortable, you can begin to see yourself how you want it to be. So, you need to know what you desire in order to start these shifts in your imagination, in your speaking, in your writing, in the way that you show up. So it's very important to get clear on your desire or your intention. Get very clear on what it is that you do want. Take a real assessment of what is going on currently that you don't want. All right. You see things as they currently are, but what is the opposite of that for you? What is it that you do want? And I'm going to tell you this. This type of knowledge is for those who are called to it. Once you understand this and you begin to see it taking place in your life, which it absolutely will, when you do your part, you do the work, which includes healing of the mind, beginning to see yourself as you desire, not as you are, beginning to carry and act in that manner, be that person, begin to speak and write and affirm and see, and all of the things that we'll talk about. When you begin doing this, people are going to notice. Now, there are some, they're going to notice a change in you. Some of them might not ever say it. Some of them might ask, some might genuinely ask for, what are you doing? And you can tell them if you'd like. In my experience, I have found that, you can tell people, and that's planting a seed. Sometimes you might tell them and they won't act on the information that you have presented to them for years, or they might not ever, but you're not responsible for that. This is something, once you learn it, it is such a phenomenal thing to learn that you want everybody to know. I know at least I did. But what I found is that it doesn't work that way. We can tell people, but it's so simple that so many will be like, it's too simple to be true. It's that easy. And the thing is, it is very simple, but what you're doing is retraining your mind. And depending on what you have experienced in your life, who you are, how you see things, what has occurred, that can be simple, really simple for some, or really challenging for others. And it depends on how open you are to this. So when you learn these ways, this way of being, this way of living, this way of operating, like I said, you will want to tell others, but I have found that telling others, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. This is something that you are led to. You can plant seeds in different ways, but this really is something that the person has to be led to, open for, willing to hear. It's that type of thing. So when you hold on and focus on what doesn't work in your life, what you don't like, it is only creating more of that. So what you're doing is you're flipping a switch, and you're beginning and going to focus on what you do like, what you do want. When you begin to focus on that, you will see in micro and macro ways things begin to shift. To make this simple, all I want you to do is start with how you speak about yourself and your current life. Assess that and be really real and honest with yourself. And flip that. If how you speak and see yourself in your current life is not working for you, then flip it to the exact opposite. So if you say, I never have anything, if you're saying to yourself that you never have anything, flip that to, doors are always open for me. All opportunities that I desire come my way. It's going to be uncomfortable at first because this is a new thing, a new way of operating, speaking, and being. But every area, or you can start with one area and then eventually add others. Begin to do that. Begin to feel how your internal energy shifts, and what happens on the inside changes what's going on the outside. So begin with your inner conversations. And I'm going to do more episodes, so many more episodes about this, because it's time for Those of you that are called to me, that I'm here to assist through this, it's time to begin to make this change. And the sooner you begin, the sooner you start to see things shift in your life. Just because the outer world is in mass chaos and turmoil, it doesn't mean that you personally have to be. That might be hard for some to hear, but it's true. It doesn't have to affect you. This is all about choice and perspective, perception. So, again, you have a vast mechanism that we are all born with. It is your imagination. In order to begin to create what you do desire, you have to begin to use this imagination for that and not to create or continue creating what it is you don't desire. You do this by going within, tapping into your internal self, your mind's eye, also known as the third eye. You go in within and you begin to see and speak about yourself and your circumstances from the place that you desire. So I'm going to leave you on that note. If you have enjoyed this episode or you enjoy my channel, I am absolutely grateful to you for tuning in. Please leave comments. Leave me a comment. No matter where you're listening to me from, you should be able to see a box that has an area where you can type a comment or a question. Please feel free to do that. Feel free to email me at my email address. It is in the description box below. You can also click the link in that box to donate to help me keep the channel moving forward and help me have the resources to continue bringing you these recordings on a continual basis. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you donate or not, but the option is there and you can just click that link. If you are ready to go to the next level and you've heard this and you want some assistance, I have a few ways that I assist and serve you with your own journey to manifesting and creating the beautiful life that you so deserve and desire. So you can sign up for an inner work reading. You can click the link in my description box for the inner work reading. That is where I do it. It's email based. I have a set of oracle cards that I created specifically to help you learn what needs to heal and how best you can go about healing that. And so it is a recorded email reading, or it's a video reading that I sent to you by email. You can click the link in the box to get more of a description. I'm fumbling over my words, excuse me, but to get more of a description and details about what that reading is. I've also opened up my calendar for spiritual consults, and what my spiritual consults are, it is you and I talking, having a discussion about where you are currently and what you want from your life. And I'm again to help you through that process. This is a 1 hour consult, and we go through the process. We talk about what's going on, and I give you the tips, tools, and techniques to begin to shift that in your life. And so it's just like you talking to a friend. Very much the same way I am on these episodes that I am in the consults. It is very casual, but casual and comforting, but equipping you to create the life you desire. And so we can do that in a very personal, intimate way through the spiritual consult. I also offer energy readings and analysis. So everyone has their own personal energy. And what I do is I pull your charts and look at certain areas and tell you what to focus on within these charts. I give you the charts and help you understand what you're looking at. And so that is done through an energy reading. I also offer oracle tarot readings if you just want to have a deeper understanding of where your life is right now. Is done through divination, and so I offer those as well. You can also join my Patreon where I do soul soothing sessions and live Q&A videos, and I go more in depth on the topics that I talk about in these episodes. So that link is in the description as well. I also have the Mother Wound class available. It is a 3-part audio series. And in the Mother Wound class, I teach you what the mother wound is. We go through areas that the mother wound might have shown up, how it's affected you. I teach you to go through what I call a relationship walk. And so we go back and do some techniques and journaling to help you really assess and understand your relationship in depth with your mother, whether that was your natural born mother or mother figure in your life, to see how that has shown up throughout your life. And then I teach you how to heal the mother wound. We are in an area where the divine feminine is rising up, and it is very important to be at peace and balance with the divine feminine energy in your life. And the most potent one and the very first one was your mother or whoever played that role in your life for you. And so healing the mother wound helps you heal so many other areas in your life, because when we have wounds from our mother, it extends and branches off in ways known and unknown. And so you can click the link to purchase that. You will receive a PDF with links to the audios and the journal prompts, and you get that within a few minutes of ordering it. So that's available as well. I have a lot of new things in the works for you guys that I'm so excited about also. And so as they become available, I will make sure you know about them so that you can get them and start doing the work. Finally, if you would like to keep in contact with me, please sign up for my email list. Now, this email list is a free 5-day audio series about healing in times of uncertainty. And it gets into many of the things that I discuss on my channel, as well as we start to talk about some magical and mystical things and tools that you can use along your journey to help you as you shift your energy, as you are attracting things. So I bridge all of this stuff together in this 5-day audio series. And so it's a way to learn more about that and to stay connected to me as I release emails and newsletters, which is a way for me to keep in contact with you and you to keep in contact with me. So I want to thank you tremendously from every area of my heart today for tuning in to this episode. Like I said, please leave your comments or questions below, and I will speak with you soon. Until we speak again, take good care of yourself.